We're taking one of the most disgusting keyboards that I've ever seen. We're giving it a thorough cleaning, some restoration, even a few modifications and upgrades, so let's go. I've had this keyboard for over 12 years as my daily driver, and as you can see, it's a little worse for wear. I don't really have any excuses other than I was just busy doing other things. When things degrade so slowly over a very long period of time, it's hard to find that line between this is now disgusting and dirty. I only realized this because the mouse that I had of the same vintage finally failed on me. I replaced that, so it's time to do something about this keyboard. I'm only going to take 98% credit for how disgusting this keyboard is because, as you saw right there, this rubberized outer coating has just deteriorated over time to the point where it is so sticky. Because of this, it's almost impossible to clean off anyway. It would basically be like trying to clean off a used lint roller. It's just not going to happen. After removing the case, I was actually shocked at how clean it was underneath. I was expecting this to be way more disgusting. The biggest offenders here are actually the keycaps. They're shiny, smooth as glass, they're oily, sludgy, just totally gross, and they gotta go. Here you can see just how much debris has built up over 12 years. This is cat hair, human hair, food particles, you name it, just building up over time underneath those keycaps. It is pretty horrible, but I was expecting this to be way worse. Here's what lube looks like after 12 years. This has yellowed to the point of it turning orange. I think another 10 years and this would probably turn red. To begin the cleaning process, I started with a paintbrush to try and just get most of these bigger chunks out of the way, and it actually worked pretty well. I would have just blasted this all out of the way with compressed air, but my compressor died a while ago, and it's every now and again I'll get a project like this and go, wow, I should really replace that, and then I don't. Even after brushing for just a little bit, I was really surprised at how easily this was cleaning up and how good it was looking underneath all that debris. Once I finish up clearing out these bigger pieces, I'm going to do another pass with some smaller toothbrushes and really get this thing cleaned up. Now with that all cleaned up, I did want to do some experimentation with trying to get this keyboard as low profile as possible. These integrated tabs into the plate are protruding way too far past the PCB, and my goal is trying to get this keyboard as low profile and flat as possible. I keep seeing this trend of these overpriced boutique hipster keyboards that just keep getting taller and taller. I'm assuming they keep making these keyboard cases taller and bigger so they can put more mass into the case, which then translate to them weighing more, which then is supposed to translate to that being more quality feeling, but I don't get it. These super tall keyboards with even higher rake angles in the back, raising them up even more, cannot be comfortable to type on for more than maybe a typing demo. These types of keyboards, and also people that use the riser feet in the back of their keyboards, I will never understand that. To me, this runs counter to the natural curve of your hand, which is going to be downwards, so doing the opposite of that is going to create a bigger inflection point on your wrist, causing more wrist pain, carpal tunnel, all that stuff. If you're one of these savage barbarians that uses the feet risers, let me know in the comments below. Maybe if you have very small hands, it might make it a little easier to reach the keys in the back, but to me, it does not outweigh the detriments it's going to do to your wrist. The only way that that would work is if you were hovering your hands over the keyboard, but to me, if you're not resting your wrists and only typing with your fingers, that is going to get very tiring very quickly. I have seen people type like this, but for me personally, I cannot see how that is a good or sustainable way to type for a prolonged period of time. If you don't have wrist support, your arms are going to get very tired of just using your muscles to hold your hands and hover them above the keyboard. Maybe it's just a benefit of having these very large hands where I can pretty much reach all of the keys without moving my stationary wrist position. Anyway, rant over. Hopefully you were understanding what I was trying to convey. You saw me stick some rubber pads to the bottom directly onto the PCB, and I'm doing this because I'm not going to be running a case for now. This is just an experiment. I'm just trying this out and going to see if having a lower overall typing profile is going to be more comfortable for me. Because I'm not running a case, these indicator LEDs are going to be extremely bright and distracting, so to diffuse the light, I figured just throwing on a keycap cover is going to be adequate, and it actually works out pretty well. I could have cleaned up and reused the original keycaps, but again, I'm going for as thin as possible, and this JTK set is in cherry profile, which is going to shave off about 2 or 3 millimeters from the overall tallness of the keycap. With the case removal, the trimming down of the plate, the addition of thinner keycaps, I've taken about 1 centimeter out of the total height of this keyboard. This doesn't seem like much, but it's actually quite a bit and definitely noticeable when I'm typing. And it's been a couple of weeks since I have done these modifications, and I can say that to me personally, it is feeling more comfortable than it was before. I'm also thinking of picking up a low profile keyboard with low profile switches and seeing how that compares to this modification I've done. Another point of concern are these switches. These are very worn in blue switches to the point where they're almost what I would call silent blues. They've lost a lot of their click, and I'll show you a comparison with a new keyboard with blue switches. So I might swap these out later and do even more mods to this keyboard, but for right now, I'm just experimenting and trying different things, trying to find the most comfortable keyboard that I can either make or find. If you're interested, I will be making update videos to this keyboard, more upgrades, as well as other newer keyboard builds, so stay tuned. And now a typing demo of these vintage 12+ year old Cherry MX Silent Blues. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I have a ton more projects in the works, more e-bikes, more computers, more keyboards, more everything. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.